Hi, everybody. It is January 25th, 2016, and this is my voice 6 weeks on testosterone. I just did my shot a couple minutes ago, and I thought I'd make a quick video to talk about changes that I've seen, progress, and then just want to talk about like gendered language and gendering things that don't necessarily need to be gendered. So right off the bat, first thing that I've noticed over like the last couple weeks is more body hair everywhere. Really, um, that's a thing. Not exactly excited about it, but I would probably say I'm pretty neutral about that. Um, I have been noticed, so I have gotten like hair that's been coming in here and here, and that's cool. I shaved for the first time. That was interesting. Didn't cut myself, so that's nice. Um, I've definitely noticed. All right, so like anytime like I look at myself or like see myself in the mirror, I've noticed that my shoulders have for sure gotten broader, which is awesome. Um, Going to the gym is, you know what? It's actually kind of terrible, and I have a lot of dysphoria around it. I hate going into any locker room whatsoever. And I don't want people to look at me. I don't want to be around other people. So I end up going to the gym at like the weirdest times. Shout out to Planet Fitness for being open 24 hours a day. Something else I've noticed, well, I've heard another drop in my voice, which is great, and that's great. But the majority of changes that I've noticed have been more, again, like more internal than external. I am noticing that there is absolutely a difference in the way that I react to things. It's not necessarily always anger, and it's not necessarily like I think like my short fuse that I talked about a couple videos ago. Like I think that was just that. I think it was my body just kind of adjusting to that. But my first reaction isn't always anger. Um, but I feel differently when things happen. I can't cry anymore, or at least I haven't been able to in the past couple of weeks, um, which is noticeable. No, it's so hard to explain. So um, there are things that like really make me feel like myself, and lately I haven't felt that. Like it's felt like I'm somebody completely different, and that's hard for me because I before had like all these ways of like taking care of myself. Like when I felt myself get anxious, I knew exactly what I needed to calm myself down. Now I don't, and that's like a two-pronged thing. So like not only am I realizing that I am acting, reacting, feeling differently, now I have to figure out what to do about that, and I don't know because this is all new. So that's been in the back of my mind a lot. Yeah, there have been a couple really tough days over the last couple weeks. Um, Days where like I have not wanted to do anything. I don't like looking in mirrors. Like it's just dysphoria is a real thing because I can't really explain it apart from just I don't want to be seen, and I don't want to talk to anybody, and I don't want to hear my voice, and I don't know. That's tough for me. It's tough to handle, and I don't like it because I love being around people. I love talking to people, and a huge part of my day is like I work retail. I work customer service. I work at a Starbucks. Um, so I see hundreds of people every day, and this is a good segue because then I can segue into talking about being misgendered. So my customers, my regular customers that I talk to and that I have interactions with every day, they're great for the most part. Like they don't mess up. I told them I wanted to go by Ryan, and they were like, "Boom, got you," um, and that's awesome. That's so great. But for the people that don't either know or I haven't like had a chance to like have a one-on-one conversation with them, um, I get misgendered a lot, and it's never something that I'm ready for. Um, it because it always takes me, it catches me off guard a little bit. Like my mom is good about my name and pronouns. My coworkers are good about my name and pronouns. My friends are great. Like it's actually gotten to a point where I haven't heard my birth name in a really long time. Um, that's neither here nor there, but when it happens, it catches me off guard and I'm not ready for it. And I I answer instinctively because 22 years of answering to the same thing, it happens. But then I also am like, oh dang, like why did I do that? Why did I answer that? Like I don't feel like that person because I'm not that person. And then I get embarrassed actually, like when I have to correct people. Um, and it's easy to say, well, oh, you're only seeing them for 2 minutes a day. Like, why bother correcting them? Well, I'm seeing them for 2 minutes a day, but I see them for 2 minutes every day. And if I don't correct them, and if I don't say, hey, like, I'm going by something different, it would be really cool if you started to use male pronouns around me and if you referred to me by Ryan. Um, if I don't say that then it kind of gives people permission to keep doing what they're doing, right? It's basically saying that like I'm okay with being misgendered, which I'm not, and it sucks. Um, and especially sucks when it's like a stranger and they don't know me at all, but they just like come up to me and they're like, "Oh hey miss" or "Ma'am." Don't call me miss. Don't call me ma'am. It's pretty invalidating because I'm trying so hard to look a certain way, come off a certain way, and pass as a male. And when strangers just like see you for 2 seconds and then call you ma'am, it doesn't make you feel very good. Um, and there have been a couple days where like that has happened multiple times, and it's just like it, it catches me off guard, and I don't know what to do about it. It always feels like whenever I say, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm actually not a ma'am. My name is Ryan. I go by male pronouns." Like, I feel like it's so embarrassing. Like, to me, it's embarrassing because there's usually a huge line of people or there's more than one person present. Like, I would want to say that in a one on one conversation. And I don't have that ability to at work. So I'm like constantly stuck between like, do I correct this person and like basically out myself toward like for everybody else in line, or do I just like let this be okay and then hope that next time they pay attention and like read my name tag, right? Yes, I prefer male pronouns, but as far as like gendered language like ma'am, miss, sir, like I actually don't like those, and I didn't know that I don't like those. Like I didn't know that I wouldn't like those things until they started to happen. So as much as like yeah, it feels cool when like a stranger calls me sir, like that's great. That's very validating. It is equally invalidating when strangers call me ma'am. So I would just rather not have any of that at all. Just call me by my name. Just say Ryan. Another thing that I have heard is, or people say things like, um, oh, well, you don't have a man voice. Well, I have my voice and I identify as a male. So I do have a man voice, right? Like, if I identify as male and I have a voice, that would make my voice a male voice. I would encourage people to get out of the habit of associating people that have facial hair with being male and people that have a large chest or like boobs in general. Like, stop associating them with being female, right? Like, why not just like let people just be people, right? Because I have softer, more feminine features of like, I don't have acne, I don't have facial hair, I am paler in complexion, and whatever. Um, People see me and they associate the like my features with being feminine, and I don't like that, and two, I don't agree with it because I don't think that you should just like look at somebody and then make these assumptions about that. Unless I tell you I want to be identified or I identify as this and I want to be referred to as blank, just don't assume things. I think that would be like if there was like one PSA that I could give to like the world, it would be, don't assume things about other people, especially their gender, because it's a very internal thing. Like how they identify is how they identify, and it might not be what you think or what like a stereotypical male or female would look like. Because I just don't think people should be put in those boxes like that. And I'm probably explaining this in not a very coherent way, but that's something that has caused me like a lot of like emotional distress lately, is constantly worrying about, am I going to be misgendered when I go this place, or constantly having to feel like I have to put on this persona of like being like this like basically overcompensating so that people don't misgender me, and I don't want to do that. I started a new job and they only know me there as Ryan. That's how I wanted it. The only person who knows I'm trans is my boss, because I had to do paperwork. And like the second day, like somebody referred to me as a her, and I was like, dude, what? Like, I'm like constantly having to correct people is getting so tiring, and it's very draining. And I find myself not wanting to be around people when that happens. I'm looking forward to a day when I have a big old beard and a deep voice and no one misgenders me. That is a day that I'm definitely waiting for. Um, until then, I guess I have to figure out how to deal with um, people making assumptions and people misgendering me, and then having to like constantly educate people. I'm just gonna have to get used to that. A life update: I moved into a new apartment. That's really great. Um, Feeling pretty good about that. Feeling like, even though I've got this huge like internal struggle and internal journey that I'm on, I feel like things are falling into place in my life outside of that. So that's really good. It's really good. And um, I'm very thankful that I still have the support of you guys and of the people that are physically present in my life, and um, my mom, knowing that she is like accepting of me is probably the biggest thing. Like I could get misgendered by 600 people a day, but I know that my mom is proud of me, and I know that my mom is in my corner, and that makes everything okay. But um, that's what I got for you guys. I hope that you all are having a great January. I hope you guys, if you are on the East Coast, stayed safe with the storm that came in. It wasn't too bad over here. We had like one bad day of snow, but I mean, I'm from Chicago, so this was kind of nothing compared to how brutally awful winters are there. So, wishing you guys all the best, and thanks for watching.